A little bit about myself. I'm the co-founder of the IT Learning Academy based here in Malaysia. I'm also a senior manager at DXC Technology, an American multinational, and I'm based here with them in Malaysia. I've worked for a number of multinationals in the technology space in the past, including Ericsson, Cardinal Health, and Computer Sciences Corporation, all multinational corporations. I think from what my colleagues have said so far, and what you already know and why you are here today, we understand that cybersecurity is an important enabler for the fourth industrial revolution. And it's well documented that there is a large cybersecurity workforce shortage. Now, this represents a crisis for organizations and governments that need to keep their systems secure, but it also forms a great opportunity because now cybersecurity professionals are in demand, and that demand just continues to grow. Now, one of the statistics that helps us to put this into perspective is the fact that the field of cybersecurity is currently experiencing 0% unemployment, which means if you have the skills, then you can find a job because there is such a shortage and there are so many jobs available. And even those that have jobs are finding that they are actively being contacted and engaged by recruiters asking them if they want to join another job. The importance of cybersecurity, of course, everyone understands it, but just to mention a few statistics to help emphasize and put it into perspective for everyone. We can see that the average cost of a data breach was about $3.9 million, with the highest cost per country being in the US at about $8.19 million, and by industry, in the healthcare industry, at about $6.45 million, meaning each time there is a data breach. And that shows you how much it's costing companies, therefore how much they are willing to spend to keep themselves secure and to prevent those data breaches. For example, the famous or infamous data breach that occurred to Equifax in 2017, the Consumer Credit Reporting Agency, that put an estimated 143 million people's data at risk and was compromised. We are talking about, to date, the total cost is $4 billion plus. This is the kind of losses, the kind of impact we are talking about. And 24,000 malicious mobile apps are blocked every single day by Google Play. That was an old stat from 2017, and I'm sure it's only getting worse. And as I mentioned earlier, 46% of cybersecurity professionals are saying that they are contacted weekly by recruiters, regardless of whether they are actively looking for a job or not. So when we talk about this shortage, how big is the shortage? In 2013, the shortage was estimated at about 1 million, meaning there were 1 million open, unfilled positions in cybersecurity. Companies and governments could not find enough people to fill those positions. It's now estimated in 2021 that it's reached about 2.9 million, meaning it's almost tripled in those 8 years. And this is coming to us from the nonprofit ISC Squared, the International Information System Security Certification Consortium. Interestingly, for those of us in Asia Pacific, which most of the people who will be viewing this are, 2.14 million of those 2.9 million positions are based in Asia Pacific, and about close to 500,000 of them are in North America, which is considered the next highest gap. So that shows you the size of the opportunity that we're faced with today and how important it is for us to take advantage of that opportunity. Now, the question arises, and what I'd like to address in the few minutes that I'm going to be speaking to you today, what are the skills that I need for a career in cybersecurity, right? We're learning about, for example, some of the certifications and the education routes that we can take, some of the kind of roles that we may be able to pursue, and how large and great of an opportunity there is for us who are interested to enter or to expand and grow in this field. But what are the key skills that recruiters are looking for? Each field demands a specific skill set, and cybersecurity is no different. There are a number of qualities that an individual needs to possess for a successful career as an expert in this field. Now, technical ability, of course, is always there at the top of the list when you're talking about this kind of a role. It should come as no surprise that a career in cybersecurity demands a vast understanding of the technical world. Daily tasks revolve around technical implementations and computer forensics, network monitoring, and more. And that's what you can learn through a program like this, through trainings and certifications that you will be pursuing. You will be upskilling your technical knowledge and your digital skills. Now, beyond that, though, cybersecurity needs certain analytical and soft skills. And these shouldn't come as a surprise, but are sometimes underrated by people. So the next one would be problem-solving skills. Cybersecurity experts must be able to find creative solutions to complex problems as it pertains to the world of cybersecurity. And this is something that makes the job interesting. Each time you're going to need to do an investigation, you're going to need to put those Sherlock Holmes type skills into practice. Professionals must also find ways to integrate new technologies into an existing security system. And this is where your problem-solving skills will come in handy. Next, I would talk about communication skills. Cybersecurity professionals work closely with one another to resolve security issues and prevent future attacks. They must be able to communicate their findings and analysis to all team members in a clear and effective way. It's also important for them to be comfortable communicating technical information to individuals of varying skill levels. And this can always be a challenge for us who are working in IT. If we cannot effectively communicate our findings, communicate the concepts and the ideas to people who are less technical, people who are in other business units or are in senior management, to help them to effectively take decisions and make the right decisions. So this is an important skill that we also need to keep in mind and need to work on. And of course, an overall understanding of the hacking universe, I would say, comes there in the critical skills for cybersecurity. When working to prevent attacks, it's important to understand how they take place to begin with. Cybersecurity professionals must have a solid understanding of the methods and tools that are used by hackers to successfully thwart their attempts. So when criminals are coming to attack and to steal, you need to understand how they are trying to do so, what motivates them, what are the various methods that they might try to use so that you can effectively thwart and prevent and block those type of attacks. So let me just share my screen for a moment, if you don't mind, and I can share a couple of slides with you here that just give us an idea of what skills are required according to some of the recent studies that we've been looking at. So you can see here that as a part of the 2020 IT and Security Talent Pipeline study, a number of hiring managers were asked to indicate which non-technical competencies from the NICE cybersecurity workforce framework were critical to success in an IT or security role. What did they feel was most important? And across all respondents, the top 5 competencies deemed most critical to candidate success were these. As we mentioned some of them already. Number 1 is oral and written communication. Number 2, risk management and ethics. Number 3, your interpersonal skills. Number 4, problem solving. And number 5, critical thinking. And we did address and talk about why these are so critical. So these are areas that you want to be enhancing and working on throughout your mentorship program. And you can see here some of the statistics. from the employee responses, hiring manager responses when they are looking for new recruits and when they are looking to hire. So basically, in conclusion, the data from this pipeline study confirms that no organization is immune from the cybersecurity skills gap and related hiring challenges. Even hiring managers who are satisfied with their organization's recruiting efforts, they still struggle to find candidates with the right combination of skills. So you don't want to focus only on a certificate or your technical knowledge, but you want to have these additional skills, which are still considered critical and essential for this kind of a role. How hiring managers at such organizations improve recruiting outcomes, however, is insightful. Number one, they rely less on HR for recruiting and screening candidates, and they actively recruit talent at industry events and conferences. So you want to make sure that you're networking and you're getting involved. Number two, they consider more indicators of success in the hiring process, such as things like the cultural fit, the performance during hands-on and technical projects. So this is where it's important for you to look for those opportunities, whether it's an internship or whether it's hands-on projects that you're able to do throughout this training process.